Here we go again, guys. Welcome to the video and welcome to the channel. So I talked with you guys a lot about theory the last videos, a lot about how to deploy heroes, maybe some basic tips. And I got actually a lot of in-game related questions. How about when to go for the ancient, hero distribution, stuff like that. So I was thinking to myself, how do I address this now, these questions the best way? And I think how we should do it is just jump into a game. So as a little bit of a warning here, this is going to be a longer video. I'm going to take a game from my stream and I'm just going to talk about the plays I did there, maybe some interesting hero deploys, and will be a longer video. That's what I want to tell you. So let's jump into it, yeah. Here we go. This is obviously a rewatched game from the stream. So I just put my camera above that. So we are playing against a very strong deck. This was the last game of a good run. We were 4-0, I think, yeah. So let's check this out. So we play against Drow Ranger, Lycan, and Bristleback in his drop. That is pretty strong, yeah. And he also has Treant and Beastmaster as follow-up. That's really good. So not much to say here, just the starting stuff. And yeah, just hero deployment and heroes fighting. He farms my Sven. Feels bad, man, but let's see how the game develops. So a very important note here is my Skywrath deployment. So what I want to mention here, can we pause this quick? What I want to mention here is I have a lot of, you see these 6 mana cards, I have a lot of red and blue 6 mana cards. Lesson number 1, I'd never want to have a red and a blue hero usually in a lane. Because yeah, I want to play my 6 mana cards. Lesson number 2, I don't have a lot of green 6 mana cards because there are naturally not that many green 6 mana cards. So I probably want to have a blue and a green hero in the lane. So just to put things into perspective, yeah. This is something which is very important. Which heroes you want to have mixed up so you have the biggest variety of plays. So I deploy the Skywrath left. And now we can see. Yeah. Obviously I also didn't draft the weakest deck. And here we just want to save our hero. Drow Ranger is really strong in draft, and if you face her, that can be a little bit of a pickle. Yeah, natural play here. Just go and cunning plan the Farran to farm the creep and save the hero actually. You should always also look forward, where do you want to do which play in this round, because as you see there, I have the Omni Knight in the middle, and if I have nothing good green to play there, because the Satyr would be actually bad because it just gets farmed by the Lycan, the Mist of Avernus is obviously the better play. Mist of Avernus to left lane because I tend to prioritize the left lane with this. And he has a lot of pressure here. You see, this is getting rough. This is getting a rough game for me. I picked this game for a reason, because there was a lot to consider. So item shop, nothing special to talk about, and now the hero deployment. Sven to the left and this to the middle, so maybe we have to talk about this a little bit. So I put Sven on the left because I tell myself, yeah, I told you earlier I don't want to have the red hero and the blue in a lane. But, and here's the big but, he has a very big bristleback on the right, which just farms literally all of my heroes. That's very bad. And he has a lot of creeps on the left, and if you have Sven, you want to profit from the cleave. It's actually a close call. I think I actually end up deploying Sven on the right because he has also 2 creeps spawning there. I might also do some mistakes in this game. Like putting Sven on the right there was definitely also a consideration. But since I have the burning oil in the hand, you see it. You can also just play him left and burning oil right. One of these two things. There might be some mistakes here also from my side, especially because when I'm streaming a lot of games in a row. So here we can either burning oil this row. You have a lot of choice here, or burning oil the right row. Like where the Satyr has to come down is pretty clear. I mainly also want to show you in these videos the hero deployments. Like not too much also about the card play so much. It's about the hero deployments, but you get that much in. Which lane to go for in specific situations. It might be a little bit fast paced here because I'm just trying to get everything in while these rounds are going. But you can always pause the videos, get your own thoughts about this. Yeah. So it was definitely possible to burning oil the right lane here, but you could also just burning oil the left and weaken Drow Ranger. Reason why I didn't do that, because I thought to myself, I will fight in the left lane, I want to play creeps, that definitely makes burning oil worse. Yeah, but putting Sven here on the left lane is definitely debatable. I just was a little bit worried that I might get overrun here. But as you see, I get already a little bit punished. I have 3 God Strengths in the hand. And since I put my Sven on the left, how I'm going to play these down, yeah? This is something you really got to think about. Like you can always learn from my mistakes in these games. So I choose to weaken the Beastmaster here because now I can actually play the Satyr on the left to farm his Satyr, which is super, super valuable. Yeah, Skywrath is a very, very cool hero. So we do this. And now the middle plays. Nothing special to do. There could be... Nah, you never want to intimidate there actually. And you place the Wool, sure. The only thing we can do here is pretty much just use the Skywrath ability and farm his Treant. Farming a Treant is usually a good thing. Well, not always, but sometimes. Yeah. Now you can choose on what you want to use the Skywrath. Usually it should be better on the Treant because you hit 3 targets with it. Downside is you kill the Wool, which buffs the rest of his board. Debatable. But you see very, very hard choices. And if you guys have any questions about the game itself here going on, which maybe I didn't answer while I'm explaining here, just feel free to drop it in the comments. Yeah. So yeah, I would say Skywrath on the Treant because you hit 3 targets and killing the Wool is not the worst here. You just give the rest of the board a little bit of a buff, but you also just get more value from the power itself. Also very interesting because I can... It's actually not the worst to maybe intimidate the Wolf there, which is very interesting because if you intimidate the Wolf, you would put him into the burning oil eventually. Also things to be thought about. Talking about it, the card intimidation itself, I want to mention that you usually want to intimidate on the very right lane because when you make your opponent skip a combat phase. Yeah? So that's something to maybe keep in mind. But you see the burning oil is doing a decent job. So we buy the healing item. Always make sure when you're shopping, guys, to, if you want to buy stuff from the middle, do that first because then you see actually which items you can choose. Okay. And here goes the fight. Yeah? I have no hero deployment, so I don't need to talk about that. Mist of Avernus buffing his thing, especially with Sven in the Mist of Avernus lane. This was also a reason why I dropped Sven there. That's just more valuable. And here, 2 options. You can either play a Legionnaire, but usually want to stay somewhat on curve. That is something I can't really stress out enough, my friends. You really want to get your cards down from your hand. And you want to be efficient. These hand cards are your resources. And if you use the resources right in card games, you get usually rewarded. And not just a little bit, yeah. So we are under a lot of pressure here everywhere. Let's see how we could maybe come back. So you play the God Strength here, obviously. Stay mana efficient and just try to get Sven a little bit cleavage in. Yeah. So that is happening on the right. We actually try to slow down him a little bit, which is also working. So let us see how we can pull this off here. Here you can give Sven a sword to get a little bit more damage in. The question is only if that is the way to do it. But usually you want to have a short sword on Sven because he obviously also gets cleave. Decide not to do it because I say the Drow Ranger will get overkilled by a certain amount anyways. So here he decides to gust me, which is of course annoying, but we can save the tree end with the cloak. Always keep in mind, that's something you can take out of this video. Red and green usually don't have chip damage, so you don't need to preemptively equip cloaks. Yeah, keep these cloaks for the situations you need them. Important. Yeah. So here we go, shopping phase again. Always look out what you need for. I don't need cards, so I don't buy them. So, next hero deployment phase. So, I will explain to you what my thoughts here are. First of all, the Skyruff ability is a very reactive ability. So, you really want to have the Skyruff in a lane which is the fighting lane. And also in the left lane I get a good Mystic Flare. So I think we don't need to go too much into depth there. Of course we could also play the Skyruff on the right and Mystic Flare there. But then afterwards, after we did that, he will be stranded there. Very important, guys. You want to look a little bit into the next rounds, yeah? If the Skyruff on the left clears, I will have a big advantage because I will have the left lane and the ability from the Skyruff still plays because he can't just ignore left lane, otherwise he loses. So I choose this deployment and have the Farvan on the right just to delay a little bit. Yeah. So you also see that the Mystic Flare on the left lane here is also getting him for a certain amount. And for a certain amount, I mean it farms 2 heroes, which is crazy insane. I want to stress one thing out here. This only happened because I had initiative. So if you have crazy values like that from your cards, and that happens only if you get initiative, you should keep in mind to keep also the initiative. Yeah, I just want to tell you that. So here I have my Omni Knight, which can be saved by the Prowler Vanguard. What is the downside of playing the Prowler? What I'm thinking here about is of course the intimidation on the Bristleback, because it's really, really strong. If you intimidate the Bristleback there from the right to the left lane, as I said earlier, you can actually fight back for the lane there. And what is maybe a little bit beautiful to see, I use my tower health as a resource. It's also one of your resources, guys. Like my tower is at 10 there, that's really good. I decide not to save my Omni Knight because I say A, this lane here is lost, and B, I want to have initiative on the right so he can't drop a minion there because I'm only at 10 tower health. So if you mess up on the right, you get punished very hard. So here I choose to intimidate the Bristleback, which gives me a decent shot on the tower again. Goes to left lane, which is perfect because I think on the left lane we are already racing him pretty hard. So here we go. Use tower health as a resource. So this is maybe also an interesting deploy which is coming now. I have this Skyruff deploy. Do I want to have the Skyruff on the left? No, I already have a blue hero there. So no. Do I maybe want to have in the middle? This is maybe a little bit counterintuitive, and what I'm thinking here is I'm thinking a little bit ahead. I'm thinking, can he race for the Ancient? How do I get my cards down? Is Skyruff useful on the right lane? And what you do here is just an evaluation of where is he the most useful. On the right lane, he doesn't do that much. Well, he has a passive ability, or let's say he's a very reactive hero. That's maybe a better thing to explain it. So in the mid lane, he has a lot of stuff to react to. So I decide to do that and just keep the right lane there where it is. This helps me a lot to delay the game a little bit. And just food for thought. Don't always fully give up the lanes and think about how can I get my resources down. You see, I have a lot of expensive hand cards. Double Mystic Flare, God's Strength. If I play this guy to the left, I will never be able to play these cards down. But I want to play these cards down. Where are my resources? So, what do we have here? I have a creep which eats 19 damage. Yeah, here we can just play a good 6 mana card and a 2-drop, which is usually good. Plus we can kill his Legionnaire and damage his Bristleback also by 6 damage. That's both being pretty good. That's option number 2. Of course, guys, don't need to tell you, if you have too many health items and you have weak heroes, you can still use them. That was not the best route I've seen ever. Only on one hero. And here we could also decide on maybe taking the tower by just Mystic Flaring the creep. But that's a little bit dangerous because our tower here is also only at 15 health. So preserving our creep here and saying we get the tower next round is probably very possible. We can heal the Sven here. It's again not necessary because he's playing blue-green. That's maybe something you should always keep in mind. Colors, what can colors do? What are the cards which could actually punish me? But you also have to always keep in mind how likely is it that he actually has this card. Yeah. So here, now we have the Skywrath. Perfect. Our hand is full. It's super full. And what a Skywrath can do, yeah, perfect. We can delay, we can kill 2 creeps here, play our card, use our resources. That is so beautiful. And of course, we can also just save the Skywrath. This will totally slow down the Ancient Race. And I want to really stress something out. If you do this here, it gets so much harder for him. Not only that you increase your options, you also limit his options. So it's really like double the benefit you get here. Decreasing his options, increasing your options by slowing him down in certain lanes or pressuring him in certain lanes. Yeah? And to the right we go. Here we have the Thunderhide. Totally getting the job done. Very good. Also again, one hero delivering the perfect 8 mana drop. And the dire looking first the dire looking first position is actually catching up. I used my tower health on every lane, trying to get every lane back, and now the hero deployment once again. I'm thinking here about which lane is harder for him to get, or which lane is more likely for him to get. What can I play around? And I want to talk especially about this here. He says this tower is at 15 health. And he says it's easier to get this lane in the right lane, which I kind of disagree because we only have one hero on the right. But he's afraid we get left and right too fast. What is very important here, the Beastmaster brings a certain card, Primal Roar, which can stun your heroes and can also move your heroes to other lanes. So what I'm doing there is trying to play around that card as well by putting another hero to the left. Yeah. So here, yeah, his goal is basically get the left lane now. Yeah. And my goal is to get the left lane, and the right lane is already done for, as you see now. So Now it's all about the lane defending. And since I played it how I did, I also get a lot of options in the mid lane with this guy Raph. He can never race for the Ancients, buying me a lot of time. We get a little bit punished here for not killing the tower there with the Skywrath ability, with the, what was it, Mystic Flare. We could have done that earlier. And here we decided to keep initiative. Very important point, guys. Keeping initiative to play around his card Primaror. Or Gust, which also blows me out. So I decide, okay, the play in the middle is not that important. Play on the right is not important because I get a tower anyways. So I keep my play for the left lane. And what to play around there? Good question, right? For me, it was actually a very hard decision here. But you see my hand is a little bit full of cards. Usually when your hand is too full of cards, you didn't use your resources, right? But I also just had a very expensive deck there. So this is something I talked about with you guys in the last video. Killing splash heroes. And it's not a splash hero in this case, but it's a single color hero. So if I choose to kill the Draw Ranger, I just deny him every single green card he can play, making his hand probably a lot weaker because he's playing 3 heroes and 3 green heroes, 2 red heroes. That means, well, he probably has more green cards in his hand. And here we go, the green hero is dead. And he can't play any green cards anymore. Kill the splash hero. Also, very important note. If you didn't watch the previous videos until now, yeah? Here we go. He needs to actually block the Sven off here. And can't do so because we kill this green hero. Getting rewarded big time. That was a little stream run we did there and also a little stream game. I don't know if I can catch up on everything here in these games, but since you're watching the video anyways, I hope you could at least learn a little bit from it. Getting another perfect run in there. I really hope I could explain things well enough. These videos are, in addition to my stream, as I said before, they are also very long and I know intense, but if you enjoy it, which I hope, guys, you're welcome back at any time. Have an awesome day. See you guys on Sunday.